The Man Cave Club.
Not all trucker hats are created equally, right?
Right. So let's break it down a little bit. What defines what a trucker hat is? Let's start with that.
Sure. Well, I think 5-panel construction, one main front panel. Usually then it was always like the foam, kind of the squishy foam. You know, the foam absorbs the sweat well. And then usually a mesh back with the snapback. That's, I think,
well,
the quintessential trucker hat. Right?
Exactly, yeah. And also with the higher crown in front to created more real estate for the ad.
Yeah, it gives you a flatter kind of front. Yeah. So, and that's
higher, broader.
Totally. Yeah, Some of that higher crown is a symptom of just that pattern of the way that front panel is pinched brings up that front of the crown. Like historically speaking, they came about in the 70s, right? They were sometimes referred to as gimme hats. Like, hey, give me one of those hats.
Right.
Because they were free hats. People started wearing baseball caps casually around that time, which wasn't really a thing. Only really like baseball players wore hats.
Right.
And so they weren't necessarily as accepted as casual wear, and then people started wearing baseball caps. And companies realized like the advertising potential on a hat. You got someone walking around with your company logo on it.
Right.
Advertising to how many thousands of people, right? So literally truckers going across the country would be given free hats. That's why they call them gimme hats. I tend to prefer like a 6-panel trucker hat. Just, I got a long face, a tall head, so that added height from the 5-panel crown is like, to me, looking in the mirror, I think it's too much for me. So that 6-panel allows it to curve down more, and you kind of get rid of this poofy kind of point at the crown at the traditional 5-panel.
So what's your main go-to style?
My absolute favorite is what I'm wearing right now. Is a Richardson 112. Very popular hat. A lot of the ones you'll see like companies doing. This is just like a local pizzeria. I'm like a type of person. I'll have like 3 hats in rotation.
Yeah.
And I just wear them until they're like gross, until you get the nasty sweat brim, and then I'd find a new hat and wear it out. I don't have like a huge like stock of hats. Some that are like more sentimental, like a cool patch that maybe I want to one day do something with. I'll like put them on ice in storage, you know. But normally when this thing wears out, like I'll just chuck it.
Right.
So Richardson 112, 100% my favorite. If I see a 112, I'm snagging that hat because I know it's gonna fit me. Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, I'm always three little nubs showing. 4th hole that's my size always.
Yeah.
Mostly that bill shape is already preformed.
Pre-curved,
they already come pre-curved, which is nice. You don't, because trying to curve one of those to get the right curve in is like you could really mess up. You can mess it up.
One of my favorite hats is this. It's this company, which some people may be familiar with. It's Yupoong. That's a 5-panel trucker there. They make a 6-panel and a 5-panel. Yupoong. It's called the Classics.
Yeah, that is.
And I think they make the best trucker cap.
They do. My other hat, aside from this local pizzeria one, is that camo hat with the leather patch I wear. I didn't bring it today, but I wear it It's in a lot of our videos.
Yeah.
That is the 6-panel Classics hat, and that hat fits, in my opinion, the 6-panel at least, exactly the same as this Richardson 112. Like they may as well be the same hat. It fits.
Right.
Once they break in, like, oh man, they're so nice, and I love that hat. That's one of those hats. That one's never getting tossed. So yeah.
Right.
Classics, Yupoong, and the Richardson 112
well,
for me.
It's great that you narrowed it down to that one hat that you
And they're popular hats too. So a lot of times when you see stuff like in stores, branded merch, like they are really popular. So a lot of the times they end up being one of those 2 hats, which is nice. I'm not searching for this super obscure, that no one makes. Like it's a pretty common hat.
Well, the Yupoong, this is a very common brand too. And then also, you know, I'm a big fan of the Harley Davidson flat bill trucker caps. And those are made by New Era, which used to be a U.S. company.
Yeah, they were like the GOAT for so long.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, where I grew up, they had a factory in the next town over from where I grew up. They shut that down like in the late 80s or 90s. Oh, and we should mention that New Era is the main supplier of the Major League Baseball.
Yeah, MLB.
New Era has two main styles. They do the fitted hat, which is the 5950, right? This is the sized fitted cap.
Yep.
That's the 5950.
I wore the 5950 for, dude, probably close to like 10 years. Rocking a SF Giants hat, just got a new one.
Yeah.
When it was gross, and that's nice too. Is once you know your size, you know, you just always go right to that size.
Well, sometimes the sizing can be inconsistent.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for
I
me,
know so.
when I had hair, it's always the hair length on my.
Yeah, I know
hair.
so. I mean, I know my head size is like 7. My hat size is 7.5 inches.
Okay.
This is a 7.25. So, and sometimes I'll go to the Harley dealership. Like usually when I'm out of town and I visit a Harley Davidson dealership, just because I'm bored,
yeah,
I'll find a Harley Davidson dealership and go look at some motorcycles.
Yeah.
And I'll try on some New Era caps. And I have to try several. Sometimes I have to go up. Sometimes I have to go down. So that, you know, obviously
inconsistency.
Yeah, I mean it's manufactured overseas.
Yeah.
They probably have several factories in different places overseas where they manufacture their stuff. So the quality controls. Yeah, that's a tricky part. So there's the 5950, which is that's the fitted, and then they have the snapback, which is the 950. Right, the adjustable snapback.
That's a good hat.
Okay, basically, you know, the structure of the caps are very similar. You can see it's a little more rounded than the traditional trucker cap, which is the 5-panel.
Yep.
These are 6-panel. These are more of a baseball cap.
Yeah, baseball
right?
cap, totally,
okay.
For sure. I think what I like about the New Era is you have that little New Era flag on the side, and you know, looking at it like from a glance, like it's a New Era cap. You know, it's a quality piece, at least historically speaking. It's a nice hat, right?
Right.
Same with like the branded bills. They do a little BB on the side. That's another real common one, and they also make great hats.
This is a branded bill. When I put the Ironheart. This was a blank trucker cap that I sewed on the Ironheart patch, but you can see the logo there on the side.
Super cool.
What you're talking about? Yeah, that's so the branded bill, Yupoong, New Era, Richardson. You know, Carhartt, I don't know who makes Carhartt's truckers, but they're pretty nice. It's a 6-panel. It might even be New Era. It looks like a New Era.
That inner rib or the
Totally.
that branding in there, that's definitely how New Era does that.
Yeah. So with New Era, and then they have some... This is actually WIP, the work in progress.
Okay, got it.
So, and then... Okay, so there's one other brand I wanted to talk about. It's OTTO, OTTO. And they make a nice 6-panel trucker, flat bill. I think their bills are pretty nice too. Mm-hmm. Very basic, but a really nice, some nice details. You know, they have the branding in there.
Yeah.
Made overseas.
Most of the stuff is made overseas, and you decide for yourself if that's a negative or not. These two hats, I got a Filson and a Stetson hat. These are traditional 5-panel truckers, and this Filson one is a foam, but this is definitely a premium hat. The bill, it has a little bit of foam to it too, which is cool. I love wearing this hat because I feel like I'm about to go on a fishing trip or about to go go hunting. You know?
Yeah, I think the material is nice on that Filson. That obviously, they went a little extra and. The branding's pretty cool. It is
really premium. It is made in Vietnam. It doesn't. I don't know who makes it. I mean, I guess contracted by Filson.
They could all be made right at the same factory,
same spot. Yeah, for sure. But pre-curved bill, and it's a really nice hat. I do like this one, and then the Stetson one's cool too. It's kind of almost like a like a velvety, like nubuck feel to it.
Yeah, super premium hat.
This is a great hat too, and then this one also similarly just has a Stetson tag on there. Not quite sure where that's made, but this one's good. These are both a little bit lower crown for a 5-panel, so I'm comfortable wearing both these hats.
Right.
And color wise, I really like these two. But it definitely, maybe I'll swap on the Filson one. Go with my hunting vest. Complete the outfit.
Yeah, it's a good color too.
Yeah, I like it, man.
It's it's hard to get a good color red.
Yeah, that kind of burnt orange red. It's good.
So there is a couple of American brands. This is a 5-panel trucker, really, really nice cap from Whiteknuckler Brand. They mostly make knives and wallets, belts. American company. And this is made in the U.S. I reached out to the company a couple of times to try to find out exactly where this cap is made, if it's made in the U.S. For you guys looking for a really nice flat bill trucker, comes in black and this yellow. I just think this is just a really beautiful shape. Really nice hat.
That is a good hat, man. Got a little bit of a point there on the crown, but it's a lower crown. It's not quite as tall as some of these other ones.
And then the other main U.S. cap, this is a Mr. Freedom.
That's a cool hat.
This is a great hat. And, it's a 5-panel. I mean, Mr. Freedom, they always do really unusual but really tasteful things.
Yeah, we're getting into the kind of hybrid.
Hybrid and also higher end price tag. Most of these hats that we're talking about, they range from about 25 to maybe 30 bucks.
Yeah. I've
for a nice, a New Era is like $30.
Yeah,
maybe.
totally.
And New Era is considered mid to high range.
Yeah.
Right? This cap comes in at about $70.
Yeah. So they're charging a premium.
Yeah, but it's made in America, and obviously you look at the construction, it really is nice. But there are trucker hats out there. I mean, like Ironheart makes a trucker hat.
Yeah.
And they're like $100.
There's definitely a point of diminishing return, I think, for something that's just gonna get sweat into, and
Well, speaking of sweat too, that's something else. They do make these inserts. I have these that I bought. They're like little adhesive inserts, because one of the problems is the hat, if you wear it and you're actually working, it gets a little funky around the brim.
Yeah, I got a little bit coming in right here on this one.
I mean, Amazon or whatever, they sell these little,
so they're
like little tampons.
So it mitigates that. Do you replace that? Like, does that thing get funky? Do you throw that out, put a new one in?
Yeah, you can. I mean,
every month or something like that.
The idea is that this insert soaks up the sweat instead of the actual fabric of the hat, right? Yeah. Staining the fabric. And
totally.
I have washed my hats with laundry detergent.
Those little cages.
You put it in a dishwasher, right?
Yeah, well, I put those straight in my washing machine. I have, you can get like a 3-pack of those, and so it's like a plastic
cage.
It's like a roll cage for your hat. You put it in, and it helps keep the form, so it doesn't beat up the bill to form it.
You put this in a washing machine, it's gonna destroy the fucking hat.
Yeah, totally, right, exactly. Because I mean, this is just like some sort of cardboard, fiberboard material.
Yes.
That too much water it's gonna degrade, right?
So those cages, does it work pretty well?
Totally, and then I stick it out, in the sun, usually on a breezy day.
Yeah.
Still in the cage, so it can dry supported.
Sure.
Right. And those, in my opinion, have worked pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, I typically just scrub it by hand. I have a little brush.
Yeah.
And a little laundry detergent. That seems to work fine.
I might try the dishwasher method out, but I'm gonna definitely have to do that when my wife's not home. I don't think she'd be happy to just open that up and go, what?
Yeah, a bunch of hats in the dishwasher. It'd be funny. Yeah. Oh God.
She already thinks I'm weird enough, dude. I don't need.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. I don't think you're weird.
Dude, well, it's because we're the same.
We covered a lot of ground in terms of trucker hats. Talked about the hats that we favor.
Yeah.
Our preferences.
There's a lot of them out there, so
Sure is.
I'm interested to see the comments on this video, see if people agree with us on some of our choices, and also, you know, kind of maybe learn what's out there, what, you know, if there's some end game trucker hat that we don't know about yet. That was fun, man. I had a lot of fun. I mean, you know, I say it every video, but it's great. Talk about hats. I don't think I've ever thought about my hats as much as I have leading up to this video, thinking about why I like certain things and why I like the hats I do like. So it was a fun thought experiment for me to really think about these things that I just slap on every day and head out the door with little thoughts. So
well, I love trucker hats.
You
I love
do,
me
man.
a good trucker hat.
You do.
Yeah, so well, thanks again for joining us in the Man Cave Club.
It's Jimmy and Paul talking about it all.
We'll see you next time, guys.
It's the Man Cave Club.